Welcome to the VET S.O.S. Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight. Remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S. Lifeline. The Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight is proud to be affiliated with the Neil Haley Show and sponsored by SpearPoint Solutions. SpearPoint Solutions is a one-stop shop for leading-edge product services and training from multiple vendors, from AI training to corporate gifts and much more. They have everything you need to help your organization thrive in the modern economy. You can check out all their valuable offerings at spearpointonline.com, and remember to use the code VETSOS on anything you purchase there. That will help us continue our mission, improving the lives of those who have served. Today, we're sitting down with Nicole Pompei, who served in the Marine Corps and Air Force for one enlistment each. During her time, she was a regional bandsman, but also served as a martial arts instructor, victim advocate, and master resilience trainer. Nicole started Wreaths by Nicole P in 2020, transforming one of her personal uniforms into a wreath. In December of 2020, she rose to fame, being featured on Fox News, CBS in the morning, Late Night with David Muir, and People magazine. Since then, she has created over 3,000 wreaths spanning across all 50 states. How are you doing today, Nicole?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And who is our additional special guest here?
This is Riley. We're in a hotel room in Colorado right now. So that's why she's with me. And my husband
Very
and my son are
nice.
at home. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she'll keep you honest, and we'll expect any noise out of her if you try to deceive us with
Yeah.
any information. How's that work? All right, so you transitioned twice. Tell us a little bit about the transition process you went through.
Yeah. In the Marines, it was just as simple as I did my 4 and I'm done and I want to be done. And I moved to San Antonio to work as a civilian with the youth orchestra there. And I didn't really enjoy the job too much. And that's kind of how I joined the Air Force because I was at San Antonio at Lackland. And then when I got out of the Air Force, I had met my husband and I was pregnant with my first child in the Air Force. And so actually, he was born 9 weeks to the day of my ETS. So we just kind of decided, we don't want to do the mill to mill thing. So I got out of the military and to just do the mom thing and the wreath thing. So
Very nice, very nice. All right, so where did you get this bug to be an entrepreneur? Like, how did that start? You just woke up one morning and say, you know what, I'm going to make a wreath out of my uniform because I got nothing else to do today? Or,
kind of,
was there some sort of drive?
yeah, no, actually, that's pretty, that tracks. Yeah, in July of 2020, the Air Force was switching over their uniforms from like the sea green looking ones to the current active duty ones, and I just wanted to do something with my old uniforms, and so I went home on leave, and my mom and I like just figured out a way to make the wreaths and a wreath, and it's so ugly, and it's just like a little picture of me in my sweatpants and a messy bun being like, hey guys, look what I made. And I posted it on Facebook and my friends were like, you should try and sell those. And I was like, okay. So I did onesies and twosies for a while under the table, nothing crazy. And then in December is when I got really viral with all those accreditations you had just spewed out and stuff. So that's kind of when I was like, well, I have a wait list of 2,000 people overnight, no website, no EIN, no nothing. I guess I'm going to be a business owner. And I was still active duty, but thank God for COVID, I kind of say, because we were stuck inside for a lot of the time. And so I actually had time to figure it out in between my work meetings.
Very nice, very nice. They always tell us, cut up your uniforms when you throw them away or whatever the case may be. So this is a fantastic use of the actual uniforms. And I wish I would have known about this when I retired because I'm 6'6". You could have made a lot of wreaths out of my uniforms. All right. So tell us what's been the best and the worst part about being an entrepreneur?
My favorite in this line of business is just being able to like talk to the customers and hear their stories. I've been really blessed with, or honored to be able to work with, people's really cherished uniforms. And I've worked with like Gold Star families and I've gotten to hear their stories and, people send me all these pictures and letters like this was my dad, this is what he did, and I have a whole wall of them all pinned up on my wall just because it's the best part. It even if you feel like you're making the same thing over and over again, just being able to hear the stories, it makes it refreshing and it doesn't get old. And you said like the worst part about it, probably all the stuff that isn't making wreaths. So taxes, and all the legalities and making a website and thinking of social media content. Um, all that stuff can be a bit exhausting when all you really want to do is just make wreaths.
You're not going to get an argument out of me. That I am so like the social media piece is just oh yes. As soon as I
Yes.
can hire somebody to do that for me, that is that is something that's going to be pushed away to somebody else. All right. So, what about entrepreneurial programs? Did you try any of the ones the military offers, or have you done any other programs to help you learn how to run a business or to help you, move your business forward?
Yeah, it took me a while to actually do some of those because I had the wait list. I was like drowning in filling orders for a long time. So once I got through the wait list and like actually had to find customers and stuff was when I decided to do that. So and so uh I I did the Bunker Labs program that, and then I'm about to do the what is it? Through Spouse. Have you heard of Spousely?
Yeah.
It's like an Etsy for military spouses. So through them, they have this thing you could apply for called Points for Patriots, and it's a 4 month cohort, and it's just once a month. But and I'm about to start that next month. And then there was another one that I did, and I'm totally brain farting on the name of it, but it was something for veteran entrepreneurs specifically, and it was like a course you could take online. It wasn't
Okay.
one where you talked in person, but you got like went through the slideshows and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Have you gotten involved in like any chambers or anything like that to help you locally in your market or?
Um, Locally, I I looked into like joining the San Antonio. That's where I'm from, San Antonio Chamber of Commerce, but I was always hesitant just because of the cost. It's because we live in such a big city; it's pretty costly. But I've been honestly my best way to like reach out locally is to just go to different markets sometimes and or reach out through like different Facebook groups that are through the city. So I've been doing that a lot, and that seemed to help a lot.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody refer to San Antonio as a large city, but
Really? Oh my gosh. Maybe it's been a while. It is growing. It just keeps going like this. Like, um, yeah, definitely growing a
oh,
lot.
well, we used to live over there, and when I was stationed at Fort Sam, um, we lived over in Selma behind the horse track,
Oh,
and
nice.
so I mean, I loved San Antonio, just fantastic, and they call it Military City, USA. You got so many resources just there within the community. It's ridiculous. So,
Yes,
uh,
absolutely. I went to some like veteran, like, I don't know. It wouldn't be a conference. It was just like a day long thing. And that's where I learned I can like, or some grouped in my LLC for free instead of having to pay $300 for it. So yeah, definitely like random little things like that. Very
oh
helpful.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so tell us about your company here. Tell us about Reach by Nicole P.
So, like you said, I make wreaths out of military uniforms. Because of my publicity in 2020, I actually have every fatigue in stock because people have donated so many things. So I can make a wreath out of any fatigue and or some dress uniforms if you don't have yours to send. You can also send your own. I would say my orders are about a 50-50 split of people sending theirs versus using stuff that I have. And you can customize them with tapes, patches, ranks, buttons, kind of whatever you want. And I offer 6 sizes of wreaths as well as ornaments just to kind of cover any price point or any, dimensions so you can kind of hang them anywhere.
Okay, so what's the turnaround time? Like, how long does it take you to make a wreath?
So when my customers place their orders, I just to play it safe, I say 1 to 2 weeks, just to if I have life things going on or orders before them or things like that. But if I don't have to cut the materials, I'll say for my most standard size is my 15-inch one. For my and I have 3 smaller ones and 2 larger ones. I would say it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to assemble, and then another half an hour to do all the boxing and photography and all that kind of stuff. And then if I have to cut the uniforms as well, so if people are sending in their own stuff, probably another 30 minutes to an hour to cut and square them. It almost about doubles the time just to prepare the materials.
Okay, so it doesn't take very long to put them together, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I've
So,
got it down to a science now that I've made thousands, literally thousands of these. I think at first it took a little while, but now I can kind of, I put on a baseball game and I just chug and plug and, go to town.
okay, okay. All right, so what's the future look like? Like, what are what plans do you have moving forward with the company?
So right now it kind of hangs upon where we PCS, which we don't know. My husband, he just got promoted to master sergeant, yay. But because of that, it threw a monkey wrench in all of our PCS plans. So we're leaving in March to I don't know where. And if we're CONUS, then I'm definitely going to, try to expand a lot more and reach out. And even just being in a new state with a new market is going to be helpful and things like that. But if we go OCONUS, I might have to kind of put it on pause for a little bit because I don't know how, or just do the business overseas and not, have an American base for a while. So, whatever comes our way comes our way. But for right now, it's a little up in the air, unfortunately.
I get that. And, I mean, I don't see any issues with you trying to do it overseas either. There's a bunch of people that run businesses overseas.
Yeah.
I know some of the restrictions come into place when it comes to things like home baking, because if you're
Mm.
on base and using military facilities to do that, those types of things come into play. But um, I couldn't see an issue really with that at all. Um, but you
Yeah,
just have to
I had to do
check
more
out those
research
laws.
into it. That's definitely, yeah. Thankfully, the Spouse Elite Network has been really great, and they were like,
Oh
if
yeah,
you do find out you're getting PCS overseas, let us know. We'll make it work. We'll try to help you out. So it's been nice.
that's awesome. That is fantastic to have that kind of network going and everything. And Spouse is a fantastic organization. So,
Mhm.
all right. So, where's the best place that people can connect with you and check out your business?
I have a website, www.wreathsbynicoleP.com. If you just Google military uniform wreath, I'll probably be one of the first ones that pops up. There aren't many. And I also have Facebook and Instagram at Wreaths by Nicole P, as well as a LinkedIn. You can find my name, Nicole Zettlemoyer. Pompei is my maiden name, which is why it's the P and not the Z. Um, but yeah, those are all the places you can find me.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. And I have to give it to Riley here. Very well behaved throughout this whole thing.
She's a
She
good baby. She's really easy. Yeah. She's
didn't throw any flags on your comments, so that's good.
good.
And um, I can't even get my dog to sit still that long, so I'm really impressed. All right. Well, Nicole, we want to thank you for joining VET S.O.S today. And on behalf of the entire VET S.O.S family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. You can find VET S.O.S podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Make sure to subscribe and follow VET S.O.S so you don't miss anything. And as always, remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S lifeline.